Hello, Fracture Sounds just released another new product, the Moonlight Celeste. These guys are on a roll. Last month they released Trails. We've had the free bonus blueprint from that. And now we are on the Moonlight Celeste, and I would not be surprised with their next release of the blueprint series, which is a free series of instruments, if it's not something related to this instrument. Anyway, this is very reasonably priced. It's $39 pounds or euros at its introductory price. It will go up to the full price of £59 dollars or euros in a month's time. And what are you getting for that price tag? Well, obviously it's a Celeste, and with it we're getting 3 different mic positions, close, mid and far, and they are actually unique mic positions. They don't all sound the same, but we'll see that in a second. What else are we getting? We're getting their usual atmospheric layers, which is always nice to see. We're getting a music box layer as well, and this lo-fi thing as well, so there's lots of unique sounds you can make from this product. There's also some additional settings we'll get into, but also at the end of this video I will be showing you some free alternatives, free Celestes that is. But let's just jump straight into this product and let the samples speak for themselves. So this is the UI. I love this simplicity and beginner friendliness of the Fracture Sounds UIs. All of them are easy to use, and this one is no different. So what have we got? We've got color, we've got attack, we've got release, and I'll show you a little trick I like to do with the release specifically on this plugin. For character, we have that music box layer I have already mentioned. We have key noise as well, which they always seem to add to their pianos or key instruments. I absolutely love that personally. Some people don't, so you can turn it completely off. My favorite knob before we even get into the mic positions and layers is the one back in the settings. It's behind the scenes, because you might notice down at the bottom this instrument is a little short on range, and I say this about lots of products. I wish I could just extend the range. I know this is the set range of the instrument, but what if I could just go a little bit further, stretch those samples? Well, you can with this product. Go into the settings, extend range, and look at that. You've got this whole low end, and I can't rave enough how much I love that button right there. It just makes it so much more. Just look how much you're gaining from that. You don't have to use it. It's there if you want to. You also have a clarity filter, sample start. We will dive into that in a little bit. But before we do any demos, we have our layer mix here, and just click that and you get your mic mix as well. And at the bottom there we have a perspective close to far, which actually just mixes the mics for you. I love knobs like this because it really does give you a nice range, and as you're tinkering and playing you can move that to the range you like. Of course we have our reverb as well. I'm going to play it out of the box, and I believe it was set quite mid actually, so we'll drag that down a little bit more, play it out of the box, and we'll start tinkering and messing around with some of the controls. Honestly, I'm almost speechless. It's such a beautiful, characteristic Celeste. It's absolutely gorgeous, and we barely scratched the surface of this product. It's just wow, and only for, well, £39, what can I say? What I really like about this is they've got the response, the velocity sensitivity just on point with this product. And if you really want to, you can go behind the scenes and effect that velocity response time as well through the timbre scaling and the volume scaling right there. So that is another feature and setting. Love the simplicity of that. I love the fact that you can affect it so much and do it anything you want. But all honesty, out of the box, I absolutely love that. And wow, this is absolutely gorgeous. I love the atmospheric layers as well. They just add so much to it and make it such a beautiful solo instrument. So let's start stripping this back and see what's going on. We'll start with the mic positions. I'm going to take the reverb completely off. We'll go just using the raw sound. So I'm going to turn off these atmospheric layers there. And what I'll do is I'll just move that as I'm playing so you can hear close to far. And the fact that you can do that and mix it in rather nicely. I love the range you're getting with those mic positions. Everything from close and intimate in your ear to distant and far without the use of a reverb. I'd much rather use mic positions than a reverb. It sounds so much more natural. You get that room sound, which is what we want. So no reverb whatsoever, and just beautiful how you can mix between that. I love just the flexibility you get with this as well. I love the perspective knob, slider. It's a slider. Let's call it a slider. I'm going to set it back, so kind of how they had it. I really did quite like that. Let's listen to these atmospheric layers. Probably turn the atmospheric intensity up as well. That's nice. Mystical. Yeah. I like the texture and stereo field in that one. And finally, Luna. Absolutely gorgeous. Love those little layers. So as well as the Celeste, you're getting these pads as well, which you can use solo or layer them underneath as well. Let's bring everything back together. Now we're going to look at these different characters. What I love, again, as I said at the beginning, this key noise, which you can have very prominent or not at all, depending on your taste. I'm going to leave that around mid. And then we have this lovely music box layer. My only qualm with this product so far is I really wish I could solo this music box layer and just have that and not the other Celeste sound as well, because I love this music box sound. But I bet you the blueprint is going to be like a music box. I bet you. I don't know. They haven't told me. But that's going to be my bet. Just adds so much to the sound. I absolutely love that. And then we can add a bit of lo-fi to it as well. You can mess around with how that is as well. The hiss, the mech. You can change if it's a speaker, small speaker, car radio, different bits and bobs for you to kind of just mess with to get the right lo-fi sound for you. I like that. I like that. I love how much you can change it. But something I really like doing with this specifically is just upping the release, because it basically does what the pedal does for you. But instead of not having that key noise because you're using the pedal, we turn that up a bit. You get that lovely long resonance, but also that beautiful bit of key noise as well. So that's one of my favorite things to do with this plugin, is just turn up the release. You get all that nice clicky mechanicy sound, as well as that beautiful long little bit of resonance. And we've not even touched the reverb. I don't feel it needs it, in all honesty. What else can we do? Color, you can make it warmer or brighter. Brighter, warmer. Brighter, warmer. Getting mixed up there. Attack as well, if you really want to bite into the sound. Really bite a bit more into it. If that's something you want to do, I don't personally like that, but it might work in your situation. Other settings, actually, let's just turn that attack off and kind of reset this a little bit. Turn the intensity, everything's on, brilliant. Settings. So we've already looked at the extended range. That is a must-have. I turn that on off the bat. Sample start, again, you can bite into it a little bit. The clarity, this reduces the low frequencies on the higher notes for a purer tone. So for example, without it, and then we turn that on, it just brings those higher notes out, unmuddies them, as it were. So that's nice to have. Room tone, room noise, that is always on. You might be seeing in the background there's a little bit of room noise hum. That is that. You can turn that always on, or host transport. And then we have our atmospheric decay mode. It can decay naturally or sustain indefinitely. That is an option in the back. We've already looked at that if you want to mess with that for velocity. But honestly, I think that's it. This is a beautiful addition to Fracture Sounds. They really do know how to sample keys, and I have fallen in love with this instrument, and it's a great price, in all honesty. So I'd highly recommend it. But before you go, I said at the beginning I will show you some free alternatives, so that's exactly what we're going to do. If we go back to the Tinternet, so the two ones I am going to very briefly show you is the Mr. Rogers Celeste. Not as flexible, of course, as the Moonlight Celeste. We don't have those mic positions, but nevertheless is Celeste, works with them. The free Contact Player 6 or later, or 6.7 or later. And the other one I'm going to show you, it's half a Celeste. It's a Celeste and a dulcitone, and it is the Celestetone by the Crow Hill Company. So let's have a quick listen to these two sample libraries, and then we'll call it quits there. Not as flexible as the Fracture Sound ones. You're not having all those mic positions, but nevertheless, it is a Celeste. It's got that beautiful tone. Let's move on to our third and final instrument. This one has a similar range as the Fracture Sound ones. The Mr. Rogers one didn't have quite the range, it didn't have that low end, but still a beautiful instrument. And this one is completely free. You have that swarm feature, which actually I'll turn up. I have done a whole video, free sample of the week, covering this. And as a freebie, I highly recommend it. But if you want to know more about that instrument in particular, check out the link on the page. That will take you to a video just about that instrument. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. I highly recommend this Moonlight Celeste if you've got the money, and if you're in the market for a Celeste, it's got just about everything for somebody there. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.